Yep. Oh, what we're talking about tonight is the propensity for people to put leaders on a pedestal, and when they realize that they have human flaws, they demean them, destroy them, and in doing so, slow down, disrupt, or even halt the movements that were benefiting the people. People are expecting our leaders, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle. People expecting our leaders to be godlike. And when something goes wrong, the coldness, the motion, the movement actually gets stopped. You know, it's interesting that some of the movements stopped when some of the leaders were killed, but also when they were killed in the court of public opinion.
Right.
So I'm thinking that that's something that, you know, white supremacy, evil patriarchy, whatever term you want to use, may have been using to stop our movements.
Right.
But does it happen outside of our experience? I don't know. That's something I probably need to look into.
Donald Trump, he's lost his power. The movement is stopped. Half all the people he backed lost in the midterm primaries. Perfect example of this happening outside of our community. It happens because, like you said, leaders, whoever they are supposed to be, once the flaws are exposed, the people tend to stop believing. This is the era and the age we live in, and I don't think it's necessarily just for black people only. I mean, Donald Trump is a perfect example of how his power has faded since he's announced he's running for president again. Half the people that backed him, the Hump Trumpers, I call them, they're no longer on the wagon anymore because he's lost his impact.
The Hump Trumpers?
Yeah, the Hump Trumpers, the people that are part of MAGA world. You remember him when he first ran for president? Those people who would die for him now will hardly even speak to him or endorse him or even say they're going to support him in his run for presidency. The same exact people that were on his hump from day one.
You know, that's
Crickets right now.
I know Crumb was going to tap in with a jewel. I think that's interesting because the Conservative Party, you know, I'm an independent, so the Republican Party, if you're hot, they rocking with you until you're cold. You know, we just saw that happen with Herschel Walker. They ignored everything that had come out, you know, to claim to be the party of morality. Saw everything that came out, and we're like, we still rocking with him. Oh, he lost? Get out of here. Crumb, bro, you had a jewel you wanted to drop, right?
Yeah, in terms of Trump, I think the saying goes, first they love you, then they hate you, then they love you again. Trump's coming back.
You heard it here first.
Trump is about to be indicted.
For what? Leaving government documents in his Corvette with his druggy son?
No.
Oh,
pay attention.
I'm sorry, that was Biden. I'm sorry.
Trump is about to be indicted. I'm not gonna say he's gonna go to jail, but he will be indicted soon. Mark my words. And the love is gone for Trump, dude.
What high-ranking official has ever been indicted and went to jail? Come on, let's just be real about
That's the thing. History is about to be made. Listen to the historian. He's going to be indicted soon.
Never bet against the champ. That's what I was told.
It's not a bet. It's just history and paying attention to how history goes. The same thing happens over and over and over again. The only thing changes is the date and time.
It just never happened though.
It's about to happen. Now I want to have a show about it once it happens, and I want you to come back so you can tell me I was right.
Yo, in this next fight, they're gonna knock Roy Jones. I'm sorry, not Roy Jones. Floyd Mayweather out. I was like, stop betting against the champ. No, they're not.
Trump is
Pacquiao's gonna get him.
yeah, bad analogy. Trump is definitely not the champ. Bad analogy.
He won. I mean, why he won
Until he lost
until he
Yeah,
lost
yeah. He's not the
twice.
champ. What I'm saying is
twice.
he's not the
Yeah,
champ anymore.
the
Oh yeah, like
second big
back in the
loss.
day, like
No, no,
100 years
no. I'm talking
ago.
like the
Nah,
second big loss for President Trump was recently when Kevin McCarthy was trying to become the Speaker of the House, and they were like, "No, we don't want you. We don't want you." Somebody said President Trump, and they got one vote.
what I'm saying
Bro,
is he's not the
he
champ
had to get
anymore.
19 votes for that. 19 times. He
Yeah,
had to
Yeah,
take that girl on 19 dates. No, come on. All right, Kevin
yo,
McCarthy. All right, whatever.
but
I'm not
yeah,
going
but
there.
my point is, one of the senators advanced President Trump's name. And President Trump even tweeted about it, an exasperation thing. He was, yeah, yeah, yeah. And so they voted, and Trump got one vote.
his power is dwindling, and like I said, he'll be indicted soon.
Brother, you know what I heard you say something, and you said it the whole time. You said when we realize that they're not, as if they weren't in the beginning. So as a fitness trainer, I get this a lot. There is a euphoria that comes from working out, from the endorphins. And if you're in a group setting, you normally attach that to the person in the front of the room, right? It's just a science. So similar thing, right? The leader makes us feel good. We attach the good feeling to him as if he is doing something above and beyond what we ourselves should be doing for ourselves. But that person was still just a person the whole time. We only elevated the thought of that person. So how did we forget is the better question. How do we forget that the person that we elevated through thought was better than just the person like we were? Like
Would it
if
be
you
the
go and be
endorphins?
mayor, no, it's got to be the mindset, because the endorphins are a natural thing. You're happy. You want to be happy. So you're telling me that you can't be happy about a person and also have control over your mind to realize that that person who was before you elevated the thought, you personally, is still a person, right? Before Malcolm became the good Dr. Reverend King, he was still sorry, I mixed them both up, right? Before Martin became it's late, yo. It's way past my bedtime. But
Mm.
like before Malcolm, before Dirty Red became Malcolm, he was Dirty Red. Nobody said that Dirty Red was gonna be Malcolm. Even when he became Malcolm, he wasn't Malcolm. He was just Malcolm. We made him Malcolm and put his name on t-shirts and started, you know what I'm saying? And then we forgot that we made him Malcolm. So is it Malcolm's fault for being Malcolm when we knew Malcolm was Malcolm? How we get here? How do we get to this point where we're blaming the person for being the person that we were, and we chose to make them greater than they thought they were? We made them great. So now I'm confused.
No, it's a thing called the Messiah complex,
Okay. Tell
where
them, brother.
instead of looking for the Messiah in the mirror, we always have to look outside of ourselves for that Messiah, that Mahdi, that Christ. Okay. I was listening to Dr. Clark, and he said that he got real bent out of shape when somebody says, well, we need another Malcolm. And Dr. Clark's response was, what makes you think you deserve another Malcolm when you didn't protect the one that God gave you?
Say that. You ain't even protecting yourself.
Okay. So if you say that this person is so great, and then another story, Thich Nhat Hanh, who was a Vietnamese Buddhist monk, he's an ancestor now, was nominated by King for the Nobel Peace Prize. He did an interview in Oprah's magazine where he says that after King was assassinated, he hated America's guts for so long because he asked the question, how does a nation that produced such a beautiful soul lack the integrity and courage to protect him?